Welcome to the deep dive. Ever find yourself, struggling to find just the right way to talk about something that started maybe ages ago, but is still relevant right now, still happening?
Oh, definitely. It's a common thing.
Hmm.
Trying to pin down that specific time frame without sounding overly complicated or just plain wrong.
Exactly. It's like walking a tightrope. So today, that's precisely what we're getting into. Our source is really specific this time. It's an excerpt from a practice guide called Present Perfect Continuous Since for Practice.
Very focused.
Very. And our mission is basically to understand this tense, yes, but more importantly, to really get why it's so useful for this exact communication job. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here, I think, is how zeroing in on one grammatical tool like this can actually bring a lot of clarity,
Mm-hmm.
especially for those, those finer points that often catch people out, even if they're pretty fluent. Understanding its job, its specific role, it just helps articulate things much more accurately. Timelines, actions, all that.
Right, avoids that vagueness. And the guide, it seems to cut right to it. It talks about the core function when you use present perfect continuous with since and for.
Hmm.
It says it's all about actions that are ongoing past to now, which sounds neat, but like what's really packed into that phrase? How's it different from, say, other ways we talk about the past?
Well, that phrase, ongoing past to now,
Hmm.
that really is the heart of it, especially with since or for.
Okay.
It's not just saying something happened back then, or even that something finished but still matters now, like the simple present perfect might.
Mm-hmm.
This one crucially stresses the the unbroken continuity, the line stretching from a past point right up to this moment. It's telling you the action itself is still flowing, or maybe the process of the action is what's important right now.
Okay. Okay. So continuity. Like if I say, I have read that book, that sounds finished, done.
Right. Completed action, present relevance, maybe.
But if I say, I've been reading that book for 2 hours, that feels different. What's the extra layer the continuous adds there beyond just saying how long?
That's a perfect example, actually. I have been reading for 2 hours. You're really pointing to the activity of reading
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that the activity itself is likely still going on or just stopped. It explains something about the now, maybe why you're busy or your eyes hurt or whatever.
Right.
Whereas I have read that book, the simple form,
Yeah.
just tells us the reading part is complete sometime before now. The relevance might be that you now know the story, perhaps.
Got it.
The continuous gives you that active, uninterrupted flow feeling.
That flow, that continuity, yeah, that feels key. And since and for are the markers for that, right? They pin it down.
Like on signposts.
Since gives you the start time since last week, since 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And for gives the duration for ages, for 10 minutes. Does the guide mention common slip-ups, like where people get this mixed up or maybe choose the wrong form?
Oh, absolutely. That's where things get interesting and, well, a bit tricky sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
A really common one, even for people who speak English quite well, is with what we call state verbs.
State verbs, like know or believe.
Exactly. Verbs describing a state of being, not an action. Know, love, understand, own, things like that. You wouldn't really say, I have been knowing him for 5 years.
Sounds a bit odd, yeah.
Right. Because knowing isn't usually seen as an ongoing action you're performing minute by minute. It's more of a continuous state you're in.
Okay.
So for those, we generally stick to the simple present perfect. I've known him for 5 years. The continuous form tends to imply something more active, often something potentially temporary, even if it's been going on a while.
Ah, that makes sense. So the continuous isn't just duration. It hints at the kind of activity, something effortful, maybe, or potentially not permanent.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It often carries that sense. Think about it has been raining all morning. The continuous emphasizes that sustained, ongoing downpour and its current effects. The ground is wet. Maybe your picnic is off.
Right. The process is key.
Exactly. Now, if you said, it has rained a lot this morning, the focus shifts slightly. It still tells you about rain this morning, but maybe more about the result. A large amount fell, rather than emphasizing the continuous process stretching right up to now.
I see. The continuous really flags that the action itself is extending right into the present moment.
That's the core idea, that
Yes.
ongoing past to now.
This is actually becoming much clearer now, breaking it down like this. So what does this all mean when we put it all together?
Well, I think.
It means that this tense, the present perfect continuous, especially with since and for, it's like a specialized tool, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's the precise way our language lets us talk about those actions that are genuinely ongoing past to now. It's not just, some random grammar rule. It's a really elegant solution for conveying that specific kind of continuity.
Yeah, it handles that job beautifully. It avoids the kind of ambiguity you might get trying to use other tenses for the same idea.
Right.
And understanding that, understanding its specific job, helps us be clearer, obviously. We can communicate duration, continuity,
Yeah.
but it also helps us understand what other people mean when they choose this tense over another.
You pick up on the nuances.
Exactly. You recognize the intention behind the word choice. It's
Yeah.
about selecting the right tool for the message. Right.
Absolutely.
So here's something maybe to think about, a little takeaway.
Okay.
As you go about your day, try to notice things you do, things you see that genuinely fit this ongoing past to now idea. You know, I've been working on this report since breakfast, or they've been building that house for months.
Mhm.
And just consider, how would the meaning change, even slightly, if you used a different tense? How does using this structure let you express not just what's happening, but the fact that it's still happening, that persistent nature connecting past to present in your own experiences?